are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast, episode 135 of the College Loop Podcast. I'm Dylan Larck, at you boy the tank on Twitter /X, and I'm here joined today, Mr. Harrison Tarr. Tarr, how you doing, buddy?
I'm here. Let's go. It's late. College Loop after dark. I'm heavily medicated and still very sick.
Of course, it is 11:07 where I am. It is 12:07 where Tarr is, and we are fresh off of the Auburn Virginia Tech game, a part of the SEC ACC Challenge, as the Auburn Tigers get the win 74-57 in a career day for Johni Broome, getting his highest
Auburn career
total. Yeah, Auburn career day. I was getting to that. His highest point total as an Auburn Tiger, as he throws up 30 points and 15 rebounds. Tried to get that career record in off of a three-pointer, but just missed out on getting 33 points. His career high is 32, in case anybody was wondering. Correction, actually 13 rebounds. So ESPN got it wrong on one thing and right on the box score. Of course, this overall is a great night all around for some players, but some players did not really get what we wanted to see out of them, but Auburn got a huge win nonetheless over a team who has a pretty decent record and probably is going to be a tourney team this year.
Well, we'll see about Virginia Tech being a turn. They're going to be
bridge team. Yeah.
We're looking at a fringe team, possibly first four team. We'll see. But tonight was all about Johni Broome. I mean, there's no sugarcoating that. There's no reason to sugarcoat that. 30 points, 13 rebounds, career double in orange and blue for him. It was an up and down night in terms of when you look around the roster. Johni Broome had a phenomenal showing, and every time he turned around, he was putting the ball through the hoop and also just making a huge impact on the defensive end of the floor. It felt like Aiden Holloway didn't play ball tonight, only dropped 0 points, didn't have a bucket on the evening, but his plus minus I read, I think, was still north of 15. I mean, he is just extremely good at managing the floor. Frustrating night for him. 0-7 from the field, 0-2 from the perimeter. Still got 22 minutes worth of play time and did rack up a couple fouls on a pair of assists. That was kind of one of those Euro freshman game.
Yeah.
It happens. You're going to be up and down. I wasn't as worried about Aiden Holloway as I am about other players, namely, let's look at KD Johnson. His biggest stat line was that he managed to have 6 personal fouls when you can only have 5 before you foul out in college. We've had that happen twice this year, by the way, on Auburn rosters. Once to Chad Baker-Mazara.
Oh, that's right.
Once to KD Johnson now, which I don't think they're that conceptually a lot different. But while we're talking about CBM, what a night for Chad Baker-Mazara. Mind you, he missed like 6 minutes playtime because I think he dislocated his thumb.
Yeah, he came out and his hand was just was wrapped up after going to the locker room. But a great night from Chad Baker-Mazara. I mean, he is the other psycho. I don't want to say that he's the better psychopath than KD Johnson. If KD Johnson was like 6 inches taller, he'd be Chad Baker-Mazara. But dude, Chad Baker-Mazara, CBM is just absolutely crazy. 5 for 5 from the free throw line. He got 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and also got a block as well. It's an all-around night from the 2 bigs that Auburn picked up, or from the transfer portal, being from last year and this year too. My words are all falling together. It is very late.
Yeah.
But Aiden Holloway, though, for the stats he didn't rack up, he did lead the team in steals.
Yeah.
From an all-around great defensive performance from this team, which was consistent throughout the game outside of the offense.
Which is actually one of my biggest grievances is not that Auburn played great defense, is that's becoming Auburn's kind of, we did this, it's okay that we went on this scoring drought. Yes, I'm going to find reasons to complain about a nearly 20-point victory because I don't think Virginia Tech's all that good. Like I said, they're going to be a fringe 4 team. I was actually a little PO'd that Bruce didn't leave the starters in for another 15 seconds to go get another couple buckets because I wanted this to maintain a Q1 win throughout the year. I don't know that it's going to. When you're at home, you've got to win by 20+ and make this a Q1 win. These extended runs without scoring, I'm tired of the whole, at least Auburn played good defense thing. And by the way, Auburn rebounded their tail ends off tonight. That just is a sidebar. I was very, very pleased with the rebounding effort and the effort not just on the defensive glass, but on the offensive glass as well. That being said, it feels like this group gets really, really one pass, put up a shot, happy. And they feel like once one guy knocks one down, that means we can just go back to that same guy and find a spark. And I'd like for that guy to emerge. Unfortunately, your perimeter shooting was not great tonight. I mean, like 2 of 16 from the field is horrid. In those quick one pass plays, come down the court, unless you're looking to feed someone low like a Johni Broome, like a Chad Baker-Mazara. If you're trying to find a guy on the perimeter for a quick catch and pop, you don't have a guy consistent enough for that. And folks, this is going to hurt some feelings, but I don't think Denver Jones is there yet. I don't think he's ready in the SEC yet at that level. So we'll have to see how that progresses. That's my one big complaint. Other than that, Katie Johnson, what the hell are we doing? I got a lot of questions, and like you said a minute ago, Dylan, he's our little psychopath, and I enjoy when he puts up good minutes off the bench. I don't enjoy when he puts up bad minutes off the bench and silly fouls. Now, granted, he got a couple of horrendous whistles, some really bad whistles. But sometimes I appreciate the emotion. There's got to be a point where you cut it off, because those tees, like you got tonight, that's like that tee you're in this evening, it's not going to hurt you against Virginia Tech, but it will against Kentucky. It will against Tennessee. It will against Texas A&M. By the way, only one of those clubs I just named one in the ACC SEC challenge. But that was kind of my big takeaways. Chaney Johnson. Hot damn. He had a good little night. Like nothing crazy, like 3 points. But Dylan, his work on the glass on the defensive end and his defensive presence, he is looking more confident by the day.
His blocks were absolutely beautiful. Auburn tallied up 7 blocks on the day and 11 steals as well. So, I mean, the grievances aside, the defense is beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I wasn't complaining about the defense.
It would just be beautiful if the offense was paired up well with the defense. But Chaney Johnson, still really waiting to see him show out offensively. We've been waiting for that for a hot minute. By hot minute, I mean 6 games. Just really I cannot wait to see him finally get the confidence that he needs to just blow the roof off of Neville Arena. And Denver Jones, I mean, he put up 8 points. He shot 6 for 6 from the free throw line, which.
So about Denver, you go ahead, but I've got a point in a second.
I mean, seeing a play, we had 2 players who shot 100, who shot more than 1 free throw in Jay Will. Denver Jones went 6 for 6, and Chad Baker-Mazara went 5 for 5. So the 2 newcomers coming in trying to help Auburn make at least 60% of their free throws a game,
which is a non-negotiable at this point. Also, my thing about Denver Jones is shot selection. We know that he can knock down stuff from the perimeter. One of his three-point attempts that he airballed didn't get counted as a shot because Johni picked it up out of the air and just went ahead and put it in and made it look like a pass. It literally got scored as a pass. So that's super neat.
Is that his 1 assist?
That's his 1 assist. It's to my knowledge. I have to go back and watch film, but I know for a fact he took three shots from the perimeter. One of them was ruled a pass. Denver just got to get better with the point selection. And I'm also really kind of waiting for Bruce Pearl to step up and say, hey, we've got, not say to us, but prove to us there's design plays for Denver Jones' shooting ability. Someone on this team's got to step up and shoot the 3 ball. This team's playing great defense, and they were shooting too well at the beginning of the year for them to stop shooting it now. I'm not mad that there were only 16 takes from the perimeter, especially when you only hit 2 of them. I am a little frustrated that they were not sinking at anything higher rate, any slightest degree higher rate, but that's neither here nor there. My only other takeaway there is Dylan Cardwell looked bad. He did. 1 of 6 in the field with the free throw, right? I'm sorry.
2 for 5.
2 for 5. I read that incorrectly. 2 for 5 from the free throw. He is impossible to watch shoot those. And I know your big man can't sink them. You got to get better at some point. His only points came from the charity stripe and didn't do a ton of great work on the pick and roll. If you watch Dylan Cardwell on his off ball defense, it is it goes one of 2 ways. It is either spectacular. Truthfully, it's either spectacular or he's lost. And I think that he can be a phenomenal player. I really do. I think that if there could develop a form of consistency and we could stop doing the seatbelt thing, and maybe just focus on our routine plays. Leave the seatbelt to Johni. That's his now. I think that there could be something there, but the lack of consistency from Dylan Cardwell to this point this year, it kind of feels like we're just hitting repeat on the 2022-2023 season, Dylan.
Also, this is the worst game he's had all year.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go to the game logs as I'm talking. I think he's had a pretty good. I mean, this is the lowest he scored since that Notre Dame game, which he only got 16 minutes. He got 16 minutes in that one. He got 12 minutes tonight. But after that, I mean, his first game of the season, he went 5-5 and 5-4, 4 and 5, accounting for points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. Had 6 points versus Southeastern Louisiana. Had 2 points against Notre Dame.
8 points against St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who SBU was for a second, and then 6 points against Alabama A&M. I mean, he's playing consistently if you look at his points. I mean, 5, 6, 2, 8,
yeah, against
6,
your non-P5 opponents, you're going to put up 6 to 8 points. And against your P5 opponents, you're going to put up 2.
And for a bad offensive night from Dylan Cardwell, I mean, it kind of just paired very well with the bad offensive nights from him. Yeah, him, KD, Simo, Aiden Holloway, and J. Will, even though J. Will only threw up 4 shots anyways. And Simo only threw up 2 as well. I mean, it really helps to have Johni Broome have his career day as an Auburn Tiger and Chad Baker-Mazara just take over the game himself, just jumping out of the arena. And I will say, one of Aiden Holloway's assists, the alley-oop to Johni Broome, was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. I could play that thing on repeat just all day, every day, nonstop. Wake me up in the morning to that. I'll go to sleep to it. It'll be what I watch on YouTube as I eat my dinner. That kind of situation. But on the Virginia Tech end, I mean, they couldn't find shot. They shot better than Auburn from the 3-point line, but I love that there was that one kid. I can't number 3. I don't know exactly what his name was, and I thought I was gonna get lucky on opening his link in another tab. Sean Padula.
Yeah.
That man is probably crying right now.
Yeah, shoot or shoot when you're 0-9 from the field.
Well, it's great when you have a respectable student fan base at your school. It's the best environment in the state of Alabama in terms of basketball and football. It helps you don't play on an airplane hangar or something that resembles a tennis match as well. But you could hear the air ball calls all daggum game. I don't know why that dude was still shooting.
Yeah,
you try to.
At some point, you got to respect the pride to keep shooting.
Yeah, 0 for 9. Another guy on their team hit 0 for 5 from the field. This kind of speaks back to how good the defense was tonight. Just really need to boost that offense up as you travel to Boone.
It's just offensive consistency.
Yeah, which is going to happen early on in the year. Just need to get that fixed. But of course, Auburn will take on Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina on Sunday, December 3rd at noon. That's 12 p.m.
I have my mini App State preview if you want me to give it real quick since we won't be on the air before they play again.
Yeah, go for it.
App State's going to be an interesting group. They rotate a lot more than Virginia Tech does, and actually the most that you'll see rotation-wise since I guess your only comparable moments would be Baylor and St. Bonaventure to this point this year. They've got 3, 6, 8, 9 guys that will play 17. If you round up to 16 and a half, I will. 17 or more minutes on the floor, but not a ton of forward play. Not a ton of big play. Donovan Gregory is going to be your 6'3" senior, but he plays forward. He plays a 3, and he's averaging 15 points a game on 4.5, just north of 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. But he shoots 60% beyond the arc. So there is your perimeter shooting threat, and you've got another perimeter shooting threat in Christopher Mantis, a fellow forward that's 40% beyond the arc. That's nowhere near what Gregory can post, but also at the same time, those guys are putting up shots. And as a team, they're collaboratively shooting 32-6. Not a huge team in Appalachian State, but a lot of rotational pieces. And actually, that was mentioned on the TV broadcast against Virginia Tech. For those of you guys who didn't listen to Andy's call, which you should have. I should have done the same. But Bruce Pearl's going to walk in every single game and think his 10 is better than your 10. This is going to be a good opportunity to have a non-con hostile road environment. Proof of concept, if you will, which I think we've already kind of received. App State's played. They're winners of 4 straight. They won this evening as we're recording, over East Tennessee State, 72-61. Their only losses coming to Oregon State, 81-71 in overtime. Not a great Oregon State team, but neither here nor there. And then NIU and a pretty good Northern Illinois team, 91-78 in regulation. Other than that, stick out win to me. Murray State, 67-57. Murray State can be an okay Ramblers team this year. So we'll see how Auburn stacks up there. Dylan's going to be an interesting 1 through 10 contest for Auburn. I think it'll be like 1 through 8 for App State. Also on the road and against a Sun Belt team, it's kind of fun. Last time Auburn played a Sun Belt team was Georgia Southern.
Maybe. That is a question I would not have even thought about being prepared for.
Yeah, I'll throw that. I think it was Georgia Southern 2019. But I'll fact check that.
That sounds right. Yeah, and I mean, Auburn getting, I think, the 5th SEC win in the SEC Challenge. Yeah, I think I read that right.
Because they shifted the momentum for both Arkansas and Georgia to come back and win. Guys, aren't we so happy that happened?
Hey, but UNC beat Tennessee, and Clemson beat Alabama.
That's so true, though.
I'm take what you can get at that point, I'm trying to think, who else lost? I'm trying to think. South Carolina. Didn't South Carolina win?
Auburn played a Sun Belt team in Georgia State last year. My apologies.
I definitely would have never even guessed Georgia State.
I forgot about Georgia State happening last year because that game was absolutely hard to watch.
Yeah, that's typically how that goes whenever Auburn plays a team. They should just absolutely be better than. But
that's right. As we move forward, talking on the hardwood right here on the College League, we're ready to preview a little bit about what's going on the plains of Auburn, Alabama this evening as the show's coming out, Dylan.
Oh, yeah?
Auburn women's hoops taking on Clemson.
Yep. Auburn women's hoops is going to take on the Clemson Tigers for their toughest game thus far, unless I'm being...
that Cal team's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase that. Auburn women's hoops takes on Clemson, the Clemson Tigers, as my words are failing me right now, today as the show comes out at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time in a revenge game of sorts. Clemson Tigers kicked Auburn out of the NIT last season, and Auburn is looking to hopefully get revenge on them, but after the last 3 games, it's going to be kind of difficult. Hopefully you get Honesty back to play this game because she's going to be a key piece in this matchup. You got a nice win over Alabama A&M, but I think those UCF and Cal losses hold pretty high right now.
Yeah, they do, and this is going to be a game of can your forwards be better than their forwards? I mean, look at Amari Robinson, the senior out of Douglasville for the Tigers, averaging 17-4 games, 6.1 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 57% from the field, which is good for 43rd in the country, by the way. So that's good in case you were curious. And then the guard play. I mean, Clemson's going to bring 4 guards. They're going to play north of 20 minutes. 3 guards that'll play north of 20, 4 that'll play north of 18 on average. And all of these young ladies averaging right around 10 and a half a game. It's really going to be a matter of, can Auburn stay out of foul trouble? Can they get Honesty Scott Grayson back? Can Sydney Shaw play the level we've seen her be able to play when in the absence of Honesty? Can we find that happy medium? And can your girl Savannah Scott go toe-to-toe with Amari Robinson? That's really where it boils down.
Yeah, and we said it before. If Savannah Scott's not playing at the high level of basketball that she can play at, Auburn struggles in the paint and defensively as well. So definitely going to have to be a step-up game for probably everyone on the roster, but mostly for Savannah Scott, who is on not a downward trend, but has definitely had her worst couple of games thus far this year. And Clemson's 5-3 on the year with losses to South Carolina, which duh. Mississippi State only by 3, and I believe they're still a pretty good program.
It's really solid.
Yeah, okay. And I know nothing.
Tulsa is not solid.
I know
So
nothing about Tulsa's women's basketball team.
that's a pretty rough loss. Let's also not forget Kiana Gaines' homecoming game. I guess not homecoming, but revenge game. The Clemson transfer.
A bunch of factors play into this massive revenge game, if you will, and that's not the only game that's going on today in Auburn athletics, as the Auburn volleyball team is going to begin their hopeful deep run into the NCAA tournament as they take on Western Michigan at 3:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's going to be on ESPN Plus, and that is played in the KFC Yum Center.
In Louisville, Kentucky. That's right.
I read that for the first time just now, and that's why there's a little bit of a pause whenever I had to read that.
For those of you guys that are concerned by the 30-2 record of Western Michigan, I would like to remind everyone that Western Michigan does play in the MAC. And from what I've read and what I understand, MAC volleyball, not great volleyball. MAC sports, I'll leave. I love the MAC. Love me some action. But like the bit's kind of that it's not really good. So I would not be overly worried. Now, this is a good Western Michigan team, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, no need to stress just yet, especially after Auburn really had a good showing the last 3 matches. I mean, I know you fall to Arkansas, but there were a lot of positives you could take away from that group.
You took number 9 team in the country to 5 matches.
5 sets.
Sorry, I'm still new to my volleyball learning experiences. But yeah, that's going to be a fun meet. Again, really hope Auburn makes a deep run. I think people have been calling their bracket the chaos bracket.
Yes.
Which I don't like being in those brackets. I really don't. I'd rather
it feels
be
like a bracket Auburn sports are made to be in, though.
Yeah, I'd rather be in the 7th seed here could run this bracket. You know, I don't want to be in the this bracket could cause like some issues for teams. I'm like, I don't want to be in that. I really don't. But before we get on to football and the transfer portal, Tar, I know it's a little late, but how are you feeling?
I am feeling loopy because I'm heavily medicated.
Well, we have the shirt for you, as if you take yourself to thewarreport.com and go to the shop, you can get your own Feeling Loopy t-shirt today. It is the holiday season officially because it's after Thanksgiving. So if you're looking for an item to get your family, get them the most comfortable shirt you're ever going to wear in the Feeling Loopy t-shirt. It's only $25 and it comes in 5 different colorways. That's right. That's navy, heather navy. That's black, heather, midnight gray, and of course, gray. Beautiful shirt, comfortable shirt, and 100% guarantee that it's going to be the most comfortable shirt you ever wear over your torso.
That's right. Also, while you're down there pulling the link to go purchase your very own Feeling Loopy shirt, make sure that you hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you're watching here on YouTube. Drop comments. Let us know what your thoughts were for the big-time Auburn win in the ACC SEC Challenge. How excited you guys are to see this continue. Super fun that it's men's and women's at the same time, by the way. Your confidence level that Auburn can pull off an upset win over, or not upset, but revenge win over Clemson this evening. And Coach Jay's squad, see how they can get that done. And we're about to talk transfer portal quarterbacks, so make sure you drop your comments about who you want and why it's Grayson McCall. We'll get there in a minute. About who you want to come to the Plains and other transfer portal targets you may have already heard about. Max Johnson's already committed. We'll talk about that in a second, but like, what the heck? I didn't know that was legal. If you're not listening on the YouTube stream, that is completely fine. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Make sure you go on whatever the streaming platform of your choice is and give us a 5-star thumbs up rating, whatever the highest rating is you can give us, and share us with your friends, share us with the family, share us with a foe, whatever you want to do. Send us our way. If you don't like someone, make them watch the YouTube stream. They'd have to see our faces. I look rough. And I know it, so it's fine. Anyways, once you pick up that Feeling Loopy t-shirt, though, make sure you use hashtag Feeling Loopy on any social media platform that makes you happy, and send it our way, and we'll make sure they're on the stream. If you already said that, Dylan, I'm sorry, but I saw it pop back up on the screen.
Oh, no, I brought it up because I had forgotten to do it. I also had some great news to tell you about our YouTube channel after the show, of course. Okay. But we are here talking about Auburn transfer portal quarterback targets right here on the College Loop as the pool just gets larger and larger and larger. I've taken some names off of the board because I deem them as not good enough to be an Auburn target. But right now, as it stands, my good quarterback, big board, is Tyler Van Dyke, who is from Miami. Will Howard, Kansas State. Some of these names we've already mentioned in the last episode. Max Johnson, who has officially announced where he is going, and that is North Carolina. He's going to follow up Drake May. Will Rogers, Nate Johnson from Utah, and of course the newbies who just entered yesterday: Grayson McCall, Riley Leonard, or Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina. If you're a long time listener of the show, you definitely know about Grayson McCall.
We've talked about him once or twice,
or a couple months. Riley Leonard from Duke, and of course, rounding out the last of this list, KJ Jefferson from Arkansas.
That's right. I'm going to go ahead and just single out the guy that I think that I'm not predicting to be at the Plains, but would be the best fit and would have made the most sense given what we talked about last year. And that's Grayson McCall out of Coastal Carolina. Last year, it felt like he was a shoo-in at Auburn. Then potentially academics may have tampered with that. Who's to say what hindered him there? And it was definitely academics and just being nice. But a career 10,000-yard passer, career 178.4 QBR. And the dude is just an absolute animal in terms of his completion percentage. Career 70%, 69.9, which is super nice and would make sense to go to Auburn. A career 70% passer. 710 completions on 1,000, north of 1,000 attempts. And the guy gets the job done on the ground as well. He's rushed for 1,100 yards in his career. Didn't really do so much at Coastal this year. Wasn't really part of the game plan. Posted departure for Jamie Chadwell. But if you look at the 3 years prior, it was clear as day that was part of the plan. Rushed for north of 500 his redshirt freshman year, rather. North of 290 as his second year, and then 195 is right around 200. Clearly more of a plan when Jamie Chadwell was there. For those of you guys who are curious, he's also recorded 2 career tackles. So.
Well, of course, if you look at this year's stats, he only played in 7 games, dealt with an injury throughout some of the games of the season. Only had, I would only say, really 2 bad games, and the 2 bad games I'm referring to are UCLA, where he had 2 interceptions, and Georgia Southern, where he had 4. But he also got hindered by a not so good offensive line. Grayson McCall is still a very good quarterback and definitely going to be probably, if not probably the second most targeted. I will say Riley Leonard, I think, is a lock for Notre Dame.
I think so too. Oh, also, by the way, we forgot this. McCall, 88 career touchdowns to 14 career interceptions. So don't lose sight of that.
Oh, yeah. Don't look at this year's stats and kind of base it around. And this is not a Peyton Thorne situation where he had one good year and then a fall-off year, and then he came to Auburn. We've had 3 good years of Grayson McCall, and then injuries and a new coach happened, and that's how you get only almost 2,000 yards regardless, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But before that, 24-2, 27-3, 26-3, and a very mid-tier offensive line throughout all 3 years. But definitely the top target for Hugh Freeze and company as the portal just gets ever so more hectic. And I just realized I forgot to add a guy on the big board. He's not in the portal yet, but I have to add him nonetheless. Cam Ward, who has already received, I think, 10 offers from schools before he even has sniffed the portal. So that's hilarious. But it's kind of the world kind of seeing what's happening to Wazoo and Oregon State and kind of taking advantage of the fact that they're not going to have a conference next year, really. So, why not? Why you can. Apparently that's legal now. Shout out the new rules of college football. But looking at this list, my top 3, assuming Leonard is the top target for Notre Dame and is going to Notre Dame, it'd be McCall at 1, Ward at 2, and Will Howard from Kansas State at 3. I think.
I think mine would be in a similar list to that that you just listed. I think mine would probably be McCall, and just for fit. McCall, Leonard. Yeah, I guess Will Howard. I think any of these are suitable candidates. So I don't know.
KJ Jefferson. I looking at the film, I assumed he'd be a good fit just because of the RPO system and him just being a powerful runner.
I don't
would be
think
a good-
I think he'd be the worst fit of this list.
out of this list, it'd be between him, Tyler Van Dyke, and probably either Nate Johnson or Rogers. I think that's just a scheme, and Nate Johnson just doesn't have the film for me to really
I'm with you.
get on his side about that. But believe me, if you tell me we can bring a guy from Utah, I'm all for it. As long as it's not Cam Rising, because he's like got a mortgage and a 401k, and if he comes to Auburn, he gotta pay for his retirement bills. But yeah, Grayson McCall. I don't want to say I've had a graphic made since December 28th, 2022, that I did not delete, but I've been waiting a very long time to post it. And it'd be kind of cool if that would happen sometime in the near future. But of course, the portal's not even open yet. It is not open until the 4th.
It's November. It's December 4, allegedly. But I mean, kids are already committing. Look at Max Johnson. What the hell?
Max Johnson entered the portal and then committed the very next day.
That was 2 days later. Give him
2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give him time to make calls and you know what. But come on, man. You can't just what's the free agency? There's now free agency. There now is a trade deadline for college football. You now have until week 7 to announce yourself on the transfer portal, and then you can go to a place that very week, which would just
so wild.
It ruined the sport, really.
I don't think so, but continue.
Yeah, having a student transfer mid-semester.
That would be wild, actually. You're so right.
You gotta remember, these are student athletes. So being a student athlete is why Grayson McCall was not a part of Auburn this year.
That's so true.
Saying that, Grayson McCall, please come back.
Yeah, come on, dude. Just come get an MBA.
Dude, he's already graduated. He doesn't need to even go to school anymore. He is officially here to play football and not play school.
That's so true.
So, hook him up. On to victory. Hook him up. Let's bring a powerhouse quarterback to the Plains for the 2024 season, because that would just be the most beautiful thing. And also, I'm going to say get some more receivers, but just get some depth at receiver, because Perry Thompson and Cam Coleman are going to be awesome targets for Grayson McCall. So,
plus, I'll be honest with you. I don't know that people are talking about this enough. All right, I think Auburn needs to go get a couple more receivers from the porthole as well. I think that there needs to be some discussions about heading to the porthole about some pass catchers, because the pass catchers weren't catching the passes this year.
Well, I think Shane Hooks is gone because he's out of eligibility. Could be wrong. Could be right about that.
I thought he had one more year left, but who knows anymore?
Well, let's hope he develops in that case. Amari Kelly is not officially gone yet, but we're hearing word that he is going to be transferring out. And of course, I mean, Jair Shorter's gone, but if you would have asked me if he played, I would have no idea. I would have no idea. I know he has one catch.
I said probably like 17 snaps all year.
I have not seen him since Sanford.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. Not once.
And Javarius Johnson's got either a year or gone.
He's got one more year, I think, right?
One more year?
I'm almost positive, but he's been here forever.
What's one more year, you know?
Yeah, you're so right.
At some point, you're just kind of assuming that the NCAA doesn't catch you with extra eligibility, you know? I think that's what you're getting to.
I'm convinced that they don't care.
I mean, you got Stetson Bennett, who didn't even get a degree and has 7 years in college.
You're so right.
JT Daniels, is he out of eligibility?
Somehow, I think so, but I'm not sure.
Where's he transferring to next?
Yeah, 6 schools in 6 years, right? That'd be crazy.
It'd be absolutely wild. But yeah, huge targets. We're still not enough of other positions have announced they're going to the portal yet. I know Evan Stewart from A&M has announced he's entering the portal, but I've also heard word that Auburn's also looking at. Auburn's not looking at, but I've also heard word that Auburn fans would be really happy if Damian Craig came back to Auburn, and I love it. I can also see where I'm not too hip on it because he's never been an offensive coordinator before. That's what people want him to him to be here. That's my only issue with him.
That's all been
coming
done,
away.
right? Like we're certain that there will not be Phil Montgomery on the staff next year.
That's what we're assuming.
Okay.
I've assumed that since I believe the Cal game that he's not the long-time answer at offensive coordinator. And the jury's still out on whether or not Ron Roberts will be back, in my opinion. I think Hugh Freeze is going to reset the coordinators, which not opposed to. On the offensive side, Ron Roberts, I would like to have like maybe another year of Coach Roberts and his amazing scheme that tripled or quadrupled Auburn's turnover rate from 2022.
Something absurd.
Something just that shouldn't ever happen to a team a program that is known for producing quality defensive backs in the NFL.
Right.
But of course, leave your comments below. What quarterback do you want to see repping the Navy and burnt orange
There's one
next
correct
season?
answer.
There's one correct answer, but we will accept Cam Ward, Will Howard, Riley Leonard if you're feeling cheeky. And those are about it. But those get half credit.
Sure.
If you want full credit, go get Grayson McCall.
Whatever.
But of course, leave other positions that Auburn should go for in the portal.
Offensive line.
Offensive line. Defensive line. Wide receivers. Linebackers.
Actually, I think that you just go shopping for upgrades. It's like
it's just everything's open.
I think so. There's a ton of room for improvement for this team from year 1 to year 2. And I liked when Auburn football posted this past week. The best is yet to come for Hugh Freeze. Hell yeah, I hope so. If 6-6 is the best to come, then let's just go and wrap this tenure up now. If that was the vision that he sold John Cohen on, then I would like to sell John Cohen that I could go 4-8 3 years in a row. Give me $15 million a year. Fully guaranteed.
Sunday during the live, potentially. That's Selection Sunday for bowl games, right?
Yeah.
So we might be live on Sunday while Auburn gets announced for their bowl game.
Well, Auburn gets announced to go to the Music City Bowl.
Or the Liberty Bowl. I've seen Dukes, Texas, and Music City.
I've seen Liberty. I saw Liberty earlier, like an hour before we started recording.
The only good part I thought about going to the Liberty Bowl is it'd be a nice little road trip to go see the pinnacle
pyramid.
Well, let me get to it. The pinnacle of human evolution. The peak of what a human can create with simple tools. Yeah. And that is the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't go regardless, but I think it would be mad funny. So
I still hate that I'll never get to see my dream of them putting a football field inside the pyramid.
It would fit.
It definitely would. I think you just kind of have have barricades in the way, i.e. the aquarium.
Right.
That might be the issue with putting a field there, but
we could figure it out.
If you kick the ball into the aquarium, it's 2 points.
I like that. It's a 1 point safety.
We're about to get to 12-team playoff. Bowl games don't matter.
Exactly.
Let's make it fun.
Let's make it arena football.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm super down. All right, Dylan. Now that we're talking about arena football, a hypothetical arena football team in the Bass Pro Shops pyramid, let's get out of here because we both have to work in the morning. It is
arena
midnight.
Football, the future home of Spencer Rattler.
It is almost midnight where you are. It's almost 1 a.m. East Coast. Damn you late tip-offs. What'd you say?
I said, yeah, it's about 14 minutes till midnight.
Yeah, whatever. Same difference.
We
And
round
we
up.
always have to do post production, so it's not like this is a cakewalk. Thank you guys so much for your continual support of the College League podcast. If you guys want to continue to support the show out in ways beyond just listening, which we appreciate that's the number one way you guys can, truthfully, the number one way you guys support us. But you can go pick up your very own College League War Report Podcast Network co-branded Feel and Libby t-shirt off thewarreport.com. That's www.thewarreport.com. $25 comes in 5 different colorways, most comfortable shirt you'll ever own in your entire life. Once you pick up your shirt, make sure you go to whatever social media platform makes you feel the most happy and the most secure, and just throw up a selfie of it on whatever social media and tag us using hashtag Feeling Loopy, feeling without the G. Thank you guys for your continual love and support. Drop the like, subscribe, and ring the bell right here on the YouTube channel. Drop your comments, whatever we've talked about today, whether that be quarterbacks, men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball, or beyond. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear what you guys want to talk about on the next episode on the Sunday live stream that we will be recording at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm Harrison Tarr at by Harrison Tarr, the Bird app. Thank you guys. Love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Everybody get feeling better if you've got this stupid stomach bug that I have.
Of course. And I'm Dylan Larck, @Tank on Twitter/X. Also have an Instagram as well at Dylan Larck at DYLENLERCK. And of course, you have us right here on YouTube at the College Loop. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. As Tar said, leave your wish list items for the transfer portal or Christmas list items. Graphic idea.
There you go.
Graphic idea coming out of nowhere. There we go. And of course, you should leave a like as well. And go to our social medias as well. You have us on Twitter/X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. All of those at the College Loop. And of course, if you're tired of seeing our faces, completely understand it. So if you're not tired of our voices, you can go check out the audio version of the show, which is featured on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, all of which at the College Loop. And of course, all that being said, War Eagle, Grayson McCall, please. And this has been the College Loop podcast.
Love you guys.